Alrighty. Is this thing even on? What? Let's see. There we go. In the meantime, can I hear myself? In the meantime, can I hear myself? Yeah, I can. Okay. Might have to make that a bit louder. Alright. So, just me for now. Send that out. Alright. YouTube feed. Okie dokie. Oof, maybe I should actually fix that thumbnail. Anyone on yet? Just one, just me. Where did I put that? Okay. It's Ifney. No. 1280 by 720. Oops. Negative 97. 47. Oops. Alright, let's see if that fixes it. Anybody on yet? Nope. Lovely. Okay, guess we're just gonna wait then. Let's see if anyone gets on. Yeah. Still. Hey, Pinhead. Howdy do. Close this. Yes, I know. That's so weird. Why isn't it refreshed? There we go. Me? I'm still on vacation, technically, so I just figured I'd stream. Might as well. Let's see. Damn, is the thumbnail still not the right size? Why is it still doing that? I figured I'd just get something quick done. Because why not? Let's see. Nice, nothing wrong with that. Go anywhere? Yeah, actually, I went to Mexico. It was very nice. Yeah, we mainly went to go see family, but we got stupid lucky. And we got this, like, mega resort for stupid cheap. It was pretty nice. Let's see, anybody else on? Also, I started the stream kind of late because I was trying to figure out what the fuck was wrong with OBS. Yeah, thank you. It was really, really lucky. We came in like just in time, and then we left just out of time because like all the tourists were coming in. It was getting expensive, and it was gonna rain a lot too. So yeah, we got there just in time. Anybody else streaming? I made an ad on ekis.com. Let's see if when we got there from that. Let's put the stream on live. When we got there from that. Yep. Okay, that's running. I close that now. I'm gonna have to link my YouTube and my X thing because I feel like not as many people seem to get on as they seem to say they want to. And I can't really send the link because X doesn't like that, so not a big fan of that. Yeah, so for now we're just kind of waiting. I'm gonna wait till like maybe 10:40, see who gets on, and then I'm gonna start. Same as last time, more or less. I'm gonna wait till like maybe 10:40. Yeah. Okay. Audio still works. Who is on? Damn. Fucking Twitter just really does not like me advertising these streams. Oh well. Anyone else I can send this stream link to? I send it somewhere. Honestly, Twitter has been way better since Musk took over. I remember before it was like impossible to get anywhere with it. But yeah, no, it just still doesn't like you sending links for some reason. Couldn't tell you why. Probably doesn't like people getting off Twitter, if I had to guess. Ugh. Admittedly, I also changed the time for when this stream would happen, which I probably shouldn't have done, but I was going to be busy later, so I had to do it now. Tis unfortunate. 3 people on now. Welcome. Yeah, no, I mean, I can't complain. It's definitely better than it used to be. It was like impossible to get anywhere on Twitter before. It's just absolute sheer luck if you got popular or not. At least now you have like an algorithm to follow. Let's see, anybody else getting on? Three people on now. All right, so to whoever's new, plan is simple. We're basically just waiting for a couple more people to get on. Around 10:40, 10:50, who knows? Probably a bit sooner, but around that time, I'm gonna start getting back into actually drawing stuff because I'm practicing a new method, which Strider will definitely appreciate, our 3D modeler, of basically trying to see. I'm basically trying to draw as if the game was rendering it. It's hard to explain, but that's a general idea, and I figured out a method to do that. Why is that not showing up properly? Hang on, I'm gonna fix. In the meantime, while we wait, I'm gonna fix a thumbnail image because for some reason the thumbnail image is really goofy on this stream. I don't know why. Oh, well that's weird. It pops up like fine. That's so odd. Alright, whatever. Alright. Let's see. Here's my YouTube channel. I'm just gonna share this link around to see if we can get a couple more people on stream before we start. Is there a chat for this anywhere? Oh, whoops. Okie dokie. 4 people on now. Oh, back to 3. Alrighty, let's see. Media. Right now I'm just sharing around the link. See if we can get a couple more people in. Dokie. Okay, actually, that gives me an idea. Let me go on DeviantArt real quick. I posted a lot of stuff to DeviantArt recently, and I was very surprised at how well received it all was. Like my stuff got way more popular than I was expecting. But that's like marginally. It was like way more than I was getting before because I never really took DeviantArt too seriously. But apparently people on there like the stuff I was posting, so I might post there a bit more often. See if I can do some some just Warren 1 specific stuff. I definitely at least need some sort of like legacy thing just to have everything in one place. Let me just log in real quick. There we go. Is the stream going? 4 people. Oh, back to 3. Same as before. All good though. Let's see. Alrighty. Let's see who's on stream. 4 people now. Ain't that lovely? Well, it's 10:40 now, just about. So, I mean, if we get a couple more people, I'll probably wait a little longer for a couple more, but if not, then I'm probably just gonna get on to kind of meat and potatoes today, which is the, why do I have two of the same? Oh, it's a PNG. The meat and potatoes of today, which is the art for Warren 1 that I've been working on. Because I've been meaning to get back on that. But let's see. Let me make a streaming ad on DeviantArt real quick. See if that helps out a little. Let me send the link. See if folks will come and see that. Turn stream. Righty. Stuff. Righty then. Alright, sent out the ad. See if that does anything. Maybe yes, maybe no. Cover image. Okay. Not sure why I need a cover image for this. Alright. 4 people on now. Feel free to talk in the chat if you'd like. I really like talking to people, so trust me, if you message, I will see it at some point. Okay, it's 10:40 now. 4 people on stream. If ain't got nothing else to do, nobody gets on, I'm gonna start. Anyone on the Twitter say anything yet? Nope. Alright, let's see if that does anything. Nope, doesn't look like it. I guess we're gonna get started then. Righty. So, let's see, where are we today? So, I have been working on Warren 1 now for a little bit of time. Me, Strider, and Dev. It's a team of 3 of us, effectively. But yeah, so the project is still really early on, but we're definitely trying to go somewhere. For the past while, I've just been working on these character sheets for Strider, because he's our lead modeler, and he's definitely going to need all these. So I figured I'd finish the NPC for the Copper Stag, which is like a sort of soldier type character in their world and whatnot. Get that sheet done and send that off to Strider and see what he can do with that. Alrighty, streams. Also, feel free to share the link if you want for the stream. I'd really appreciate it. Could definitely use more people on stream sometime. I always like chatting with everyone, and I think it definitely makes things a bit more interesting. But let's get started. Okay, so soldier sheet and this experiment I was doing. So there's this one artist on Twitter I really, really like. Oh god, let me fetch his name. What's this guy's name? Where are you? Where's this guy? Ah, here we go. So his name is Eric V. Here's his his account. If you guys want to go check him out, he's got incredible stuff. This guy is very impressive. He has an art style which is, to the best of my explanation, something between a Wii render and painting. It's very pretty. But I've basically been using his method for shading, which is quite impressive, by the way. He does drawings like this. Effectively paintings that are somewhere between a 3D model and an actual drawing. I can't quite tell. But I've effectively been using this method to kind of draw out what I would imagine a render of a character like Ifni to be, were she to be properly rendered, finalized in the game. And this one was an experiment, but today I wanted to try out and do maybe a couple of them and see how they all turned out and such. So yeah, we're gonna get started on that. Let's see, anyone say anything in chat? Looks pretty damn good. Thank you. But yeah, no, this guy has incredible art. You should go check him out. I don't know how the fuck he does it. Very impressive. Yeah, all of his stuff is just like bangers on bangers. It's, oh god, gross ass word, but very impressive work. I don't know how he does it. Go check him out. Let's see. Anybody else in the stream? What's the Twitter ad again? Yeah, let me show that real quick. It's right there. You can go check his stuff out. I've heard worse at work. Yeah, fair enough. Yo, skibbity riz. Thanks, you're welcome. Let's see. Anybody else on stream? Still 4 people? All good. Alright, in that case, let's get on. So, general plan today is I'll probably get this sheet done first, because that's kind of more important. I promised Strider I'd finish that before my vacation, but alas, I didn't have time. So, we'll get on that right away. Let me just open that up. More than one. I need to use Ifni's probably for a reference. Actually, maybe I'll use Wyatt's. Wyatt has a pretty good sheet for this. So this is Wyatt's original model sheet. No, let me close this. Let's bring this over here. I'm going to be using Wyatt's as a reference for how I did this, basically the, 2 sides, front, back type deal. This one shouldn't take too long. Actual, cool. We all got a little bit of Tism, the Geek Squad. Yeah, I've heard some shit like that before. It sounds about normal. Let's see. Busy. Oh, yeah. It seems like a lot of people are busy right now. I'm not a huge fan of doing morning streams because everyone's kind of at work right now, but I figured I might as well because I don't have too much time later. Streaming. I'll let a couple other people know in case they want to see. Where's Raknuki? I always love getting on stream. A couple other folks. Get them in. But yeah, so in the meantime, while we wait for those folks, let's get started. So, soldier sheet, I'm going to say this is a new file. A2. Move that here. And we'll probably extend this whole thing out to the same size as the Wyatt one. This one shouldn't be too long. Like I said, it's relatively simple. You're basically just using the line art, moving shapes. Especially better because we don't have to color it. I did not realize that was in pixels. Oopsie daisy. Extend that by probably 35%. Oh, way bigger than that. Okay. 45. Okay, that's good enough. We're going to trim that down. Nope. Nice shortcut for that. Okay. Where to go from here? So, I'll bring this down. This is a new file. We can actually get rid of the color for this. We don't really need it right now. But yeah. If anybody has any questions about the project or what exactly Warren 1 is, I'd be very happy to detail. But for now, so we don't need the 3/4 shots. These are unnecessary, so I'm going to kick them out for now. So we just need front, sides, and the back. The back is basically just the front, but easier. Oh, is that together? Silly machine. Move this down. Don't need this. Don't need that. Definitely don't need this anymore. This can go. This can go. These are all just old references that I added for when I was doing the 3/4 shots. Just to get that reel done. Okay, so yeah, we'll start with the backside. Why not? Sounds about right. And yeah. Right, okay, let's get on it. So, backside. Backside is usually a bit difficult for me. Well, sides are usually the hardest for me, but backsides ain't too bad a comparison, but I'm still not great at them. So I'll lower the opacity on that. So, this is the part where I have to imagine the thing that I didn't draw because I didn't think I'd have to draw it. And I'm now realizing I actually did need that 3/4 shot. So let me go back for that. Grab this real quick. So, this kind of dome mushroom thing here is like a bit of a sort of an atmospheric regulator type thing. It's just a big ball of air, pretty much. So we're going to be using this as the main reference for the rear because I didn't draw that from the front and I have no idea how I draw it otherwise. So yeah, we'll get on that. So it looks like it goes from the top of the hat here, carries over, stops there. Right, let me get a ruler for this. It'll help a bunch. Okay, so I'll mark that down here because that's about as far as it goes. It's the bottom. So what I'm doing here is I'm basically just marking down the points, which I'm going to draw and connect the lines to. And I want to keep these as equal as possible to how they are in the 3/4, because when Strider starts modeling this, he's going to need it as close as possible. So I'm going to try my best to keep it right. The box, this is, oh, I see now. Okay. So now we can connect these. In fact, I actually might round that out a little more. This part is always, I'm never good with these sort of domey type shapes, but I did think it was an interesting design, so I went with it. Yeah, good enough. So, now we can continue this bottom area. Shouldn't be too bad. Actually, let me clean that up a bit. This top part and the nozzle. Let's see. So, this needs to be bent a little more, for sure. Connect those two, point A, point B, and we're done. Okay. So, the actual mechanism bit back here won't be seen quite as well, so I don't have to put too much effort into that. But the bottom area is which the actual connection part is, that is going to be seen, so that is going to be a pain in the ass to draw. If I remember correctly, the way I did this was this part. It's part of this, and the hose comes down on the mechanism, which spans the back, which would be something like this, if I'm not mistaken. So that would be housing, the crystal, which goes here, which is just a big light, really. It's a floodlight. Mainly that's its purpose. Oh, I drew this a little oddly because I meant to kind of give it some transparency, but we're just going to have to live with that for now. Let's see, anyone in the chat? No. All right, let's continue. So, here we go. Moving on. It's housing. Now I'm trying to figure out how the fuck I'm going to do this back here. This kind of shawl bit that comes back over the side. Because these two definitely don't line up properly. Which raises the question, how's that going to look? Because this is in front. This would probably be here. This would carry down to about here. This isn't quite one-to-one the front view, but it's probably as good as we're going to get visually. Righty. Add this in. Let's see. Anybody else on stream? Nope. Let's see. Alright, there we go. Sorry for the delay. Let's see, anybody on? Oh god, 6 people on now. Welcome new folks. I'm just working on the art for Warren 1. And yeah, so if anybody has any questions, anybody wants to ask something, talk about something, by all means ask in chat. I love answering this sort of stuff, especially when it comes to the projects I'm working on. Okay, let's get the lower housing done for this thing. And if I remember correctly, it's got a sort of diamond shape, almost. Yeah, it's got like a diamond-y shape going here. It comes down, then this part spans out, and that's the lower chassis. And this whole thing kind of holds it all up. There's like 2 big blocks on the side, almost. And when I say the way I designed it, I really mean the way I thought about it when I first made this, because I usually don't write these things down until after I've kind of figured them out completely. Righty. 6 people on now. Bon? Gosh. Oh, thank you, Bon. I'll try not to get too sappy and just keep focusing on the art. Yeah, there's a vent down here. This is the sort of exhaust port for carbon and whatnot. So we're just going to mark this down here. Let me fill in that chassis bit again because I deleted that. Also, by all means, feel free to ask questions. Yep. Here we go. Chassis again. Actually, let me use a ruler for that so it's a bit more accurate. That would be the lowest point. This would be the highest point. So now this is already complex for me. I can't imagine how the fuck Strider's going to do this. I'll try and help him out as best I can, but this is definitely not an easy design we're working with here. Yeah, that'll connect here. Actually, you know what? I think I'm just going to use a mirrored part of that. go. Connect that together. Simple as. Perfect. I can just erase that bit under. Okay, so we don't actually need to draw as much of that upper housing as I thought we would, so that'll be much easier to do. So now, the chassis has to hang on to something, and I'm not quite sure what that's going to be. So it's got to probably be around here. Some sort of large block that would hang on to the back part of the sort of shawl he's got on. I suppose it's just going to be something like this. I didn't think it too far through, admittedly. A lot of this is also kind of figuring it out on the job. So, you know, we work at it, we see what goes right, see what goes wrong. Shielding. Waste of machine. Based by the detail you put into mechanism and machinery. Like you approach it with every little detail in mind. It's fascinating to watch. Oh, thank you. But yeah, generally I try to put these things together as if they were to be able to function. Although, like, obviously, I'm no mechanic. But I try to imagine these in such a way that they would realistically be feasible. And so, brief explanation. So these guys, they live underground, really far underground, about 17 kilometers down underground, and as such, they've been living underground for quite a while, and naturally, when they did manage to get to the surface, uh, the body isn't really designed for that once you've been living under there for quite a while, used to the pressure and whatnot. That they can live above ground, but only one person has been able to do it for an extended period of time, and he's the ruler of the whole place. So essentially, this whole outfit is a sort of think of it as like a Bronze Age spacesuit type of thing. This is very advanced for their society, so these things are expensive, and they ain't cheap, naturally, but they're pretty protective. And the way they work effectively is more or less about the same way a regular spacesuit does. The whole thing is mostly pressurized. It's not 100% because it doesn't really need to be 100%. They do want the people to get acclimated to the surface, so it's kind of a little leaky on purpose. But mask is here, seals down to this. Actually, I use orange for this. Seals down to this housing unit here, which spans the shoulders. That covers the top. These two seal onto the suit, which goes down to the pants. This is basically just a sort of extremely dense kind of flannel, rubbery material. It's not quite plastic, it's not quite rubber, but that goes down to here. Boots are sealed. This lower part is sort of soft and squishy. This top part is where the machinery is. So the shoulder parts are actually quite heavy, and as such, the tank for the oxygen, which also carries a fair bit of hydrogen in it as well, because they need water and such, is not quite as heavy as it would be, so that the person is actually relatively balanced because the center of gravity is pulling them by the armor forward, and this is actually balancing it out. So going back, this housing, this big ball thing, is basically just compressed oxygen with a hydrogen mix inside that can kind of stabilize pressure so they don't get the bends pretty much when they go down too quickly. Generally, there's also a sort of little thing at the back, which is what this chassis is for, and they have a tube going up, which controls sort of like a water flow. So they have, you know, the hydrogen, the oxygen. Oxygen works for breathing. The water can also be made from the hydrogen. They can drink, they can breathe, and generally works as is. It's powered by these things, which are very rudimentary solar batteries. They have electricity. They don't have it super well. Like, this is experimental. These things are new for them. Very, 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 very new. To them, solar panel is solar panel technology is like something of magic, essentially. A photosynthesizer of electricity is not something that they would have readily available, which is why you don't see something like that on, let me get Ifni's sheet here. So I don't see that on Ifni, for example. She has the more basic equipment, the more simple style of equipment. She's a civilian. She had to buy some of it herself, so she just gets the rebreather, which just cycles the external oxygen, and her suit isn't nearly as well pressured as a copper stag suit would be. So actually, I think I'm gonna make this a little more kind of junky, because this looks a little too clean. So I'm gonna mess it up a little more. Let's see. Yeah, I've been trying to really create a sort of new aesthetic for this. What first comes to mind is something like steampunk, where you want to have like a world kind of designed around a single aesthetic, but I don't really like steampunk that much. It feels too gluing gears on things for my taste, but it's got a spot in my heart here and there. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create something, well as new as I possibly can. It's kind of impossible to create something new, really, but let's see. How would I do this? Oh, I know. So we're trying to make this a lot messier, essentially. Bit more slapped together, even though this is their kind of advanced suit. These people still aren't quite as advanced as we are today. Go. Make that a bit more slapdash, and I'll have like a sort of venting housing down here, probably for the hydrogen. That comes down, upper housing goes here. This, actually, I'll get rid of this line just so it looks a bit more canistery. Yeah, there we go. It's a lot better. And we can add the hose down now. That'll connect down to the hydrogen, probably. Strider's gonna kill me when he sees this. He's not gonna be happy. It is really complex, but I'll try and help him out in Blender with what I can. Go. Okay, hose is there. That's insanely cool. The fact you have so much slot to last so gosh. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm not sure quite how much better my art is definitely better than when I first started, but I wouldn't say I'm by any means sort of a master of it. There's still a lot I have to learn. So I'm not quite sure how much better I am nowadays. Hose, point. Can cling out there a bit. It's a plate, so I'm going to bring that up a bit. Another plate. It's a big box, basically. And yeah, close enough. Let's connect this bit here. Bring that down properly. And the plate, the top plate kind of finishes at this point, so I guess I'll make the rear plate here finish there as well. Just because. And from this point on, we can just mirror. So this is effectively just complex tracing, really. Let's see. Yeah, so thumb would be here. Fingers, same place. Yeah, I can just rip this straight off the back. Which is exactly what I'm going to do. Because there's no point doing a whole lot of work if you don't need to. So I'm going to rip that off, put that here. Get rid of this part, switch it out for the thumb. Change out this line. So that it looks a bit more like it's coming from the back. Bends on the hand. And fix up the rear so it looks like the back of the knee. And fix up the foot so it looks proper too. So this is a heel part actually. That would be going here. Actually, how did I do that? Oh, it actually kind of ties up a little, doesn't it? So this would actually go above to about this point until the lines come back and the ties would come back at the rear of the shin, which would look something like this. So it'd be tied together with a sort of flax fiber that they have it's quite common down there. The plates are expensive, but the connecting tissue isn't, so that doesn't need to be too detailed in their case. I'll actually line this out a bit to give it some depth. What else? Oh, I forgot. I kind of made these like not quite the goat feet, because, yeah, I guess they're close to that. So there we go. Now we have the rear. And to those of you wondering how you do a rear view, that is basically how you do it. You just trace over the front view and put a bit of effort into it. Some details. It's not quite as difficult as just straight up making an entirely new rear view, but it can be a little challenging if you're not good at kind of visualizing important details with stuff. I would advise using this method though above just making a new one, because it generally just looks better, it feels right, and it lines up with the front view more. So now we can just mirror this. Strider's not going to be happy with the fact that this ball thing is in the way though. I'll have to ask if he wants me to remove that. But yeah. Oh, hey, we got 8 people on now. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the stream. If you're new, or if you're not, my name's Amber, and I'm working on this sort of game project thing with a couple other guys, Strider and Dev, and together we're kind of making this game we hope to release soon. Ideally, would have enjoyed for pre-alpha to be out sooner, but we've all been quite busy, and they've already put a ton of effort into it, and I couldn't be more grateful for that. Oh, I fucked that up, didn't I? Yes, I did. Oh, whoops. Let me clean that up a bit. But yeah, so today we're just kind of working on this rear view here, because I promised Strider I'd get this done, and I did not get it done for my vacation, so I'm getting it done now. Better late than never, I suppose. Here we go. But yeah, I just came back from vacation, and I want to get back into art. Hopefully doing more streams, more videos, that type of thing. But yeah, if any of you are got questions about what the project is, what I'm working on, characters, etc., I'd love to answer. I love talking about this sort of stuff. Let's see. Let's check how many people we got on stream. Alrighty. People. Let's see. Is Twitter still fucking up my reach? Yes, it is. Okay, I don't know what's up with it. It just doesn't like me advertising streams. Oh well, I guess. It could be worse. Yeah. Oh well, I suppose. Shame that, but a whole lot I can really do about it. Hang on, let me just clear my notice on DeviantArt real fast, because I got a bunch of them. Feed. Yeah, mark all as red. Thank you. Okay, back to that. Alright, back to it. So we've got the rear view now, more or less. I might have to get rid of this ball thing for Strider later, the canister. But that's kind of the major thing we needed to do, and now the side view, which I also have to do, which is going to be relatively difficult because I'm really not that good with side views. Okay, so we'll merge these two on together and I'll do the side view now. So this one I can't cheat. I gotta make a full new side view, and this one's gonna be a little difficult because the character I have, if you can see, actually see in that 3/4 I just deleted, is bent a bit forward. He's got sort of a long Z shape, more of like a lightning bolt kind of direction, which means that if we have him sideways, he's gonna be more like this kind of. Where the shoulders and the head, top of the head would be here. Top of the hat would be back here. So yeah, side view, we're looking at a shape that's like this. The head here, pointing forward. Arms kind of hunched back a bit. So yeah, he's bent down a bit because, I mean, the equipment's pretty heavy. It's not quite as heavy as it would have been before they made it to the surface and before they discovered the kind of materials that were up there. But it's definitely much heavier than you know, standard kit, something like what Ifni would be wearing. Wyatt is definitely wearing more dense equipment. But Ifni, for example, she's got on a pretty standard, very, very basic. It's pretty much just a suit and like a couple plates. And the hat, which she got from her father. But going back, yeah, side view. This is going to be real fun. Might stretch this out a bit. Okay. So, I think we're going to start from the collar. That seems like it'll be the easiest part to do. So we're going to start with this bit. And this is angled too, so this is not going to be mega easy, but we got to start somewhere. So we'll start here. So it'd be like this, carries down. And these plates are quite long too, so I think it needs to be a little flatter down. Yeah, that's perfect. There we are. But yeah, if anybody's got a question, just want to say something, by all means. I read all the comments, and I try my best to respond to everyone, so hi. Let's see. This would be that roundel bit there. So we're actually going to do two side views. We're going to do with the arms, and we're going to do one without the arms, because Strider's going to need both of those. Oh, yeah, I forgot this plate actually kind of dips in a little. We're on the halfway point, like so, before it connects to the end here, which means I actually need to make this a little bit wider. But forward too. Perfect. That's a little big, so I'm going to make this a little bigger too. That would be like there, yeah. Actually a little further more. Here. Then we got the central circle thing, sort of event. I hope you can monetize your streams one day. I do too. I don't think they're ever really going to get that popular, but I do enjoy doing them. It's nice to talk every now and then, if nothing else. And it's definitely nice to show people what I'm working on, because that's always fun. Ideally, monetizing them would be fun, but I don't think I'm ever going to get that far. Yeah, we'll put the taper here. Ooh, actually, central circle should be a little bigger. Oops. Yeah, more like that. My hand's a little shaky when I draw, so I usually get this more hand-drawn look, but it also means I can't draw circles very well, so, you know, double-edged sword. Right. So that would be raised a little. The triangle here. So these triangles are kind of their general insignia. It's kind of how they mark down who's who. Uh, yeah, so I think that's about right. Yeah, okay. And then that would mean the lower plate would just come down like this. Ooh, but it would actually be blocked by the upper plate. Sorry, the shoulder plate. This one. Which means it would actually look more like this. No, forward. You know what? Actually, we'll do the no arm one first. It's usually a bit easier to figure out. So we'll do the no arm version first. And based on this one, it looks like the arm would be just down here. So we'll put an X down there, mark down where the shoulder point starts, get the plates going from this bit. So here we go. Then we can have the cloth shawl from the front going down. And where would that point meet with the lower plates? That would be here. And the chest comes out through here. So there we go. So this bit down here, this is a sort of lock that keeps the whole thing together. Since their suit is much more pressurized, it also is a little more dangerous to have on. Because if there's a break in the seal, then, I mean, you wouldn't want to open your spacesuit in space. Love your art, Amber. Very nice as always. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, I'm trying not to get too sappy. Thank you. Yeah, so obviously you wouldn't want to open a spacesuit in space. This kind of goes the same for these. These are built to the pressure of the lower areas, which means they're moving underground and above ground quite frequently. And they're also moving around quite a lot, since their physiology has to change over the vast kind of stretch of time that they're above there to really get used to the upper atmosphere. These suits just mitigate that, and they can still kind of have their undergrounder physiognomy, at least organ size, blood count, that sort of thing, without having to change too much, which is an advantage in the short term, but not in the long term. That's the shawl. About your process, so inspiring to me. Also, sorry, I have to jet. My brain has given me a hard time today. Thanks for inviting me. Oh, it was lovely to have you on, Bon. You have a good day, all right? And I hope you feel a little bit better. So yeah. So these armors, I kind of tried to imagine what it would be like if somebody actually had to wear them. Usually, because I mean, somebody actually does have to wear these half the time. Ooh, that's a mistake. I didn't put that front plate there. I'll figure it out later. But yeah, legs start here. So pants would begin here. They'd bend down this point right about... Oh, that's taller than I thought, actually. So I was right the first time. Perfect. So we can actually get rid of this line. That's not necessary no more. Let's see. Right. And then there's the side bit of the coat, which comes down here and goes to the under part of the shawl. Carries up around there. Well, it's basically tied at the pants, so it's like a de facto belt of sorts. But it actually should be higher up. So let me fix that. Here we go. I'll try and do these streams a bit more regularly. I promised myself I was going to do it last time, but I just fell back on that. I got busy, and I got lazy too, so unfortunately I wasn't able to do it quite as frequently as I would have liked. Mark that down. Coat goes over. Are they rabbits? No. They're technically... It's a bit compulated. What the fuck? It's a bit complicated. But the lore of their world is basically it's adapted from the older lore of a story that I was working on for quite a long time that I sort of retconned because I just didn't like where it was going. And so I'm starting fresh, but the The short answer is no, they're not rabbits. The long answer is they're humans, but not quite. Um, the whole plot of the game is basically, or the part that becomes kind of apparent recent at the very start, really, is for a long time in their world, the world of Warren 1, people have lived underground. And it's only recently that they discovered that the surface was actually habitable. They never realized this, and it's been God knows how long since people started living underground that nobody even remembers the surface. So, uh, these people are not humans, but they are the descendants of humans, is kind of the idea. They have legends of old empires where there was food everywhere and blah 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 and all this and that, and as such they have those as memories. So these people are human in some way, but not really that human. They're fairly different in a lot of ways. They have the same general physiology. The organs are, in the right spot and whatnot. But as for other parts of the body, no, they're quite different. They've generally more hunched over postures because they've lived underground for quite a while. And the city that they come from, which is the city of Juno, the polis of Juno, is very cramped, or used to be very cramped. The city center is still pretty cramped, but the outer edges aren't as much anymore because they had a whole chaotic revolution about that. But yeah, generally you live underground, you're doing a lot of exploring, you kind of crouch down a lot. But for the most part, they've solved a fair few of those problems just over time, and now living on the surface, they're starting to adjust better again, and things are changing, and that's kind of the whole point of the game, just to see how things change. So this is a side view. I don't quite need to do these leg parts quite as much, but I think I'm going to make them a bit wider because they do feel a little too small. Like this whole thing feels a little small. I think I'm going to make this a bit larger, just wider, maybe. Yeah, that feels better. Let me get these lines on the shawl on the back part real quick because I just noticed that. Actually, let me fix that. And get that back crystal and the housing for it figured out, which would be something like this. I imagine it's probably held on by like a wire or something, because I mean they got to save a little somewhere. Might as well be there. Okay, let's see. Side view's looking okay. Housing goes here. We'll extend this part out a bit, and then we'll start on. Ooh, the bulb is kind of going to be a little hard. A little cramped here. Enlarging that a bit. And oh, this is already on another layer. Never mind. Let me merge these two down so I don't get confused by that again. So the bulb, kind of that big oxygen tank they got, this part is not going to be quite as easy as I would have liked on the side view because I didn't make a proper-ish reference for how big this thing actually is, horizontally speaking. But if I had to guess, it would be like, let's see, so if that's the top point, it'd be here. The low point would be down here. The highest point would be, that feels a little too high actually. Here? Oh, no, that does make sense. So it'd be like this, kind of. Perhaps not exactly like that, but we'll adjust that. God, I suck at circles. There we go. So a shape that's effectively just like this. And we have this lower part, which is this bit. this kind of round part down here, which just kind of is. I've got no idea what that part is, aside from sort of exhaust type thing. And we'll connect that down here. Yeah, good enough. Okie dokie. Then that would connect up here to that sort of plate part. Which has the stripy pattern on it. And you could probably see the major exhaust at the back a bit too there. And then we have the top point and the nozzle. Alright, simple enough. And I'll just add the secondary nozzle there. Well, I guess this is the primary nozzle and the top one is the secondary, but who really cares? Here we go. And crystal goes here. Secondary hose goes here. And that connects up there to the housing plate on the exhaust port. There we go. Simple enough. And the head. Head's going to be the hard part. I've got no clue how I'm going to draw this from the side. Oh, actually, before I do that, I almost forgot this part at the back, which is the secondary plate, which covers the spine. Actually, this one's quite big. I should make it around this one. Yeah, much better. Clean this up. Nope, wrong. Perfect. There we go. And the hose that goes down it. Here we go. Lovely. Now comes the extraordinarily difficult part of actually getting the head down. The hat shouldn't be too hard. It's a bit more geometric than Ifni's, which would, if I had to guess, it's probably something like this from the side. I really suck at doing hats from the side. So this is all kind of guesswork. But that should be shortened, but that looks about right. So as long as we have the hat, we have a point of reference for the rest of the head. The hat would be about here. It would be a bit smaller. And the toffle would kind of go here, I feel. Yeah, it looks about right. Here we go. Yeah. Oh, hey new folks. But yeah, if anybody has any questions, you just want to talk, I read all the comments. I'll try and respond to as many of them as I can. And yeah, so by all means, feel free to speak in chat. I generally work better when I'm kind of talking too, so definitely helps. Let's see. Oof. Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna put these on. I'm just gonna do like a line. So these triangle plates are sort of held together like a chain link would be. Which means technically I should be doing them individually, but I'm not going to be doing them individually because that's a lot of work, and it's going to take forever. There's also kind of no need. I just put the shapes down. It'd be more like this, wouldn't it? Yeah. Close enough. And if I remember correctly, from the 3/4, yeah, there's the smaller triangles on the side, actually. So I'll have to mark that down too. So it's big circle, triangle, 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 and one at the top. Or actually, maybe I'll just fill this in and then line it down later with an eraser. That was not supposed to look like that. Oof, why's my computer lagging so much? Strange. No idea why my tablet is having such weird fidelity issues all of a sudden. Oh, there we go. Fix itself. My latency just kind of shot through the roof for some reason. Okay, triangles go here. This comes up a bit more. That's too big, but I can make that smaller. It's fine. Ain't a big deal. This is too small. Actually, that's just right now. This is too far forward. No, it's too far back. Should be sharper. And I think that's actually not too far off from how it should be. So we'll just use that as a side view. Yeah, this part under would get deleted, this line here, and we'll clean up this bit up here. There we go, so we got a side view now. Without the arms. We gotta add those in. This should actually probably be sideways. It's quite back heavy, so. Now keep in mind, this is just the base equipment. They would have a sort of, like, front pack thing. Sorry, I'm stretching. Yeah, they would have like a sort of front pouch type thing at the front, which would be like here, and then that would weigh them down from both sides. Better center of gravity. Let's see. Righty. Oof, why did the stream just freak out? Oh, that's so odd. Sorry, I don't know what was up with the quality of the stream going down like that. I don't know if any of you saw that too, if it was like noticeable, but I apologize. My computer does dumb things sometimes. Yeah, that looks about right. Oof, actually, oh yeah, maybe the cloak should be a little more angled. The legs wider too. Maybe wider, smaller, and just generally make this whole thing bigger. And then make the bulb smaller. And that should fix the problem I'm seeing. Yeah, there we go. That's much better. That looks much better. So this isn't one-to-one, but it is visually a bit more accurate, which is usually the more important thing. Just because something's mathematically perfect doesn't always make it the best or the most accurate looking. Righty. So now we can put on the arms. Or actually, make them a little smaller. There we go. A bit taller. Go back. Did I have it right before? No. Oh, I just need to make the head a bit smaller. That's all. Tiny bit bigger. I'm going to tweak this a lot just because of where it is specifically. And this back part of the hat should be a bit smaller. And this part of the cloak should be bigger. I keep saying I'm going to do that and then I never do it. Okay, better, perfect. Now we can get the arms on. So if I remember correctly, this should be the right side. Clean that up. So it should be this way. That's a problem. Yeah, it's interfering. So I'm going to keep him here just because visually it's a bit easier to focus, or I might split this guy out a bit further. Get rid of that. Different layer. Move him out here. Okay. Do I have space for him over here? Not really. So we'll turn him the other way around. Or you know what? Actually, this is going to be confusing for Strider. I'll keep him the same side. And we'll just have to make a lot of space. That's all. So we'll keep those two there. Guess I'll merge that down. Guess I'll merge this one down too. Merge these three together. And we have that side done. I'll have to put the arm, but I mean, who's counting, right? Okay. Now, ironically, I think I might actually be able to just copy paste the arm from the front, because just the shape of the arm is already quite bent. So it kind of works universally. Yeah, it does. Okay, that was easier than I was expecting. Move that here. Or maybe a little bit more bent around the elbow. A little bit more tilted. And we'll add in that shoulder plate. And the markings on it too. Which should be, yeah. Oof, I'm gonna have a tough time getting this one down. I'm just eyeballing it. No, that's the back. And the triangle. There we go. Very nice. So unfortunately, this sheet actually took me a little longer than I thought it would have. So I don't think I'm going to be able to do any concept work for IFNI, because I got to go in a little bit. But if I end the stream in a little bit, I hope everyone enjoyed so far. I just wanted to do something quick. Just kind of work on some stuff, and I hope you all enjoyed. So I'm going to finish this up, going to add in those props, and then I suppose I'll end the stream there. Or maybe if I have a little time, I'll do something small. Nope, line there I missed. There we go. Clean that up. And perfect. So now I can actually move the, actually I should adjust him first. A wee bit. Alright. Now I can just copy paste him over here. And turn him around and we're good. I am going to need to make a little bit more space for him though. Actually, yeah, a little more space. That'd be good. Or, yeah, you know. Tiny bit more. And now we're good. Alright, perfect. Extend this out. Now I don't quite recall if I have a difference in the name. No, I don't. Okay, we're good. Lovely. sort of props are we going to add for this? Alright, so now's the interesting bit. We get to add sort of equipment to this guy. I actually think I'm going to include that sort of front pack I was mentioning earlier, just because a lot of them are going to be using it, even if it's not quite like a mandatory piece of equipment. But I think I'm going to add it in for nothing else, just to have it. So that's going to mean another side view here, but I'll shrink him down and I'll have it just kind of hanging off the front. No, actually it should be a little bit more forward, probably like here. This is just for carrying like samples and stuff that they find around. It's backpack pretty much, just easier to access. And it balances them out a bit more. And I should probably, the bulb does look a little large now that I see it from the side. Might need to shrink that down a little bit. Let me see. That makes a bit more sense. Can be a little bit inconsistent. I'll just copy paste it in. It should be right about here. Yeah. And I'll switch that onto the other side. So it's a bit easier as well. Perfect. And just put that on with tape and glue. Perfect. Let's see. Now I don't reckon I gotta change this one too much. I will make that a rear bulb smaller though, for sure. Oh, whoops, I didn't even realize I was on the wrong layer. Silly me. Well, that one doesn't look... Yeah, that looks really off. Let me fix that. There we go. Alright, perfect. As for the other things we can add, now they don't actually use weapons too often. They have like a sort of pike that they keep on hand, but it's more just for collecting samples than anything. But that would look something like this. Like a big fork of sorts, almost. Like I said, that's more for just collecting samples than anything. But I think we'll have it on there, because why not? It's got like a little tie at the end here. So we'll keep that here. Actually, I might even simplify this even more. One, two. And we'll have like a little rope on the side of it, just so they have something to latch it onto. So I want to keep the weapons in this thing kind of simple. And even so, these can be used as weapons, but they're definitely not meant for it. It's for samples. The box that they have, something like it's more like a crate, really. It's like a fanny pack. Locks at the top. And it can be pressurized, so it would have a tube going through it. Halfway point, we got the stripes going down the bottom. Locks, move that here, go back. Here we go. And the connection point's back here. So it's just a box, really. It's not crazy complex. But I might put a vent on the side just to actually expel any vacuum that's in it if needed. And maybe on the top as well. Alright, and frankly, I don't see a whole lot we can add to this, aside from maybe some equipment in the future or whatnot. But I think we're done. So I want to thank you all for joining me for the stream. Unfortunately, I do have to go now, but I appreciate you all being here, and it means the world. Oh, damn, the box looks good. Thank you. But yeah, I'll try and do more of these in the future. If you guys enjoyed, feel free to share it around or just kind of watch or whatnot. I post to DeviantArt, Twitter for Affinity, that sort of thing, all around. But yeah, thank you. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. All right, see you guys. Oh, tax accounting. Oh my goodness.